Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring a powerful concept from Stephen Covey's work that can seriously level up your productivity, reduce stress, and help you focus on what really matters. It's called the circle of concern versus the circle of influence. And if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the world around you, this framework might just change your life. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, introduces this idea by dividing all of our worries into two main circles, the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Circle of concern. This includes everything that you care about or worry about, but over which you have little to no direct control. Think about the economy, global conflicts, political decisions made by others, traffic jams, or even people's opinions of you. Circle of influence. This circle is smaller but more powerful. It covers the things you can actually do something about, like your habits, your reactions, how you spend your time, the people you choose to engage with, the initiatives you start, and more. When we focus too much on the circle of concern, basically everything we can't directly change, we end up feeling frustrated, anxious, or powerless. But when we pour our energy into our circle of influence, we develop more confidence, we feel more capable, and here's the kicker, that smaller circle actually begins to grow. Suddenly we discover new opportunities, resources, and people who can help us expand our impact. Here's where many of us slip up. Our social media feeds are full of crises. The news highlights everything that's going wrong in the world. It's easy to wake up and instantly feel stressed about things you can't fix right now. You worry about the state of politics, the job market, the environment, all valid concerns, of course. But if that's all you dwell on, you'll be drained by noon. Covey points out that highly effective people do the opposite. They identify their circle of influence and work there. Instead of saying, "Oh man, the economy is terrible, there's nothing I can do," they ask, "How can I adapt? What small or large steps can I take? Is there a skill or side project that could hedge my risk?" They take action, which leads to outcomes, which in turn expand their influence. Covey also ties these circles to two types of people, reactive and proactive. Reactive people focus heavily on the circle of concern. They talk about the problems, the failures, and what other people should do. Proactive people keep asking, "What can I do?" They might not have control over everything, but they'll invest time in creating solutions for whatever they can influence, whether that's their budget, relationships, or daily schedule. It's not about ignoring global issues or being indifferent. It's about channeling your energies where they're most effective. Over time, the more proactive you become, the more your influence grows. You might start a local community group, join a volunteer organization, or even launch a business that addresses a problem you used to feel powerless about. Let's look at a few real-life examples of how this framework applies. Personal health. Personal health, circle of concern. Healthcare costs are so high, my genetics aren't great, I'm doomed. Circle of influence. I can exercise 30 minutes a day, drink more water, and consult a nutritionist. Career growth, circle of concern. My company is downsizing and the job market is saturated. Circle of influence. I can upskill online, network with industry professionals, or start freelancing. Relationships, circle of concern. My boss is always in a bad mood, circle of influence. I can communicate more clearly, stay professional, or if necessary, seek a new department or job. The idea, instead of blaming, complaining, or waiting for someone else to fix things, you adjust your own actions and mindset first. And that switch can be life-changing. Now you might be thinking, alright, that sounds good in theory, but how do I actually make this shift? Here are a few practical tips. List your concerns versus your influence. Take a piece of paper, draw two circles. In the bigger outer circle, write down all the concerns rattling around your head. In the smaller inner circle, note everything you can directly impact. By visually separating them, you can see what's draining your energy and what deserves more of your time. Ask the right questions. Whenever a problem hits, ask yourself, is this something I can do anything about right now? If yes, brainstorm options. If no, see if there's an indirect action, like learning a new skill or planning a different approach, or if you need to let it go. Take one small step. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, so start small. Make a phone call, send an email, or do 5 minutes of research. Each small proactive action helps you feel more in control. Practice proactive language. Instead of saying, "I can't," try, "I choose to," or "I will." Shifting your language helps you shift your mindset. Here's the beautiful part. The more you invest in your circle of influence, the more it tends to expand. When you solve small problems effectively, people notice. You might gain new connections, resources, or opportunities. Suddenly, you have the capacity to address bigger issues that previously seemed out of reach. This isn't just motivational fluff, it's a very real practical strategy. By showing you can deliver on the things you can control, you often earn the trust and collaboration needed to tackle larger projects or initiatives. While the idea sounds straightforward, there are a few pitfalls. Pitfall number 1. Over-focus on the noise. Getting sucked into social media debates or constant doom scrolling can yank you out of your circle of influence. Be mindful of where your attention goes. Pitfall number 2. Confusing concern with apathy. Focusing on your circle of influence doesn't mean you don't care about bigger problems. It means you channel your energy into constructive action instead of unproductive worry. Pitfall number 3. Trying to control everything. Some people swing the other way, trying to force outcomes they can't truly control. That's a recipe for burnout. It's about clarifying where your control starts and stops. Remember, this concept from Covey is more than just a mental trick. It's a powerful lens to help you figure out where to spend your time, energy, and creativity. Focusing on what you can influence rather than what you can't builds momentum and resilience. And in the long run, that momentum can transform both your personal life and the world around you. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more insights on personal development, productivity, and living with purpose. And let me know in the comments, what's one thing in your circle of influence that you plan to act on this week? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Remember, don't waste your energy on things you can't control. Invest it where you can actually make a difference. Until next time, take care and keep focusing on what matters most.